Okay folks, it's been a while since I did an update on the 72 Honda CB750 K2 Australian delivered engine and frame. And as you can see, things have moved along quite a bit. She's now sitting on brand new rubber, front and rear. That is the sort of identical look, if you will, to what was on the bikes when they came from Honda. This is the Michelin Road Classic. I'll tag Michelin in this, not because they're a sponsor, but because this tire very much resembles the tread pattern that was originally fitted to these Hondas. So if you're going for that kind of original look, highly recommended. Plus Michelin make a great tire, so tough to argue with that. Rear hub all together, rear wiring is all together. Tail light, we've got new indicator lenses and a new tail light lens coming in. Same for the front, so the indicators are all wired in, but new lenses on the way. So this is just visual placeholders, so I know what to order and what I've got in stock. We've got the engine all together, obviously in the frame. We're waiting for the neutral switch wire to come, so that's the little thing with the rubber bungy that fits in there and connects to that harness over there. That's that filler there. Once that's in, I can fit the starter motor cover. We can button all of this up and start fitting the clutch, checking the timing on the points and finalizing this wiring, brake switch, engine mount. So we've got some fresh mounting hardware, bolts and fasteners and whatnot. And then of course I can fit the carbies and the airbox in that reverse order. Front of the bike's pretty much together. So horn is in, tacho cable's in, sparks are in. We've got to tighten up our new exhaust studs, fit the speedo cable. That's very, very straightforward. Tidy up the front end. There was a bit of a drama. Somebody had wedged a giganto washer in there just to take up space on the front. Wrong. So that's required some doing. Also, the K2 is quite unique. So this early K2 style has a very different fork assembly, and also the fork stanchions look very different. They have this kind of square back to them, whereas the K3s look like that. So all of that is in good shape. Obviously you can see I've got to put the lower cap on, bolt stuff up, but it's all nice and shiny. All the pipe work is in. Original K2 guards, reproduction horn, a little bit of wiring cleanup in here, but nothing too dramatic. Front end is coming together nicely, so the refurbished gauges. Thank you, Lionel Auto Instruments. Vintage Moto switcheroo does all of our switch gear. Excellent job. Just really came up lovely, and these are original Honda K2 switches. So this is correct wiring, reference from the original K2 harness that's on this bike. Matching lock set, so we've got the steering lock up here, which goes up underneath. We've got the ignition and seat lock all have one key, which is very cool. We've got the original wiring in here. Some of this is a placeholder, but again, this is just to rough all the stuff in, so I know what to order and what I have here already that I don't need to worry about. But essentially, other than fitting a bit of body work, a few things, bright work for the nuts that hold this grab handle on, things like that. As I say, some cosmetics, seats down there ready to go with the owner's manual. She's really coming along nicely, and everything is playing very well. So once we get the clutch run in, that's the next thing to adjust, and that's that cable right there. We'll just get that all of the play set up correctly, and then we'll bleed the brakes out front and rear. It's a drum rear and a single disc front. So the brakes weren't amazing back in the day, but this is correct for what this bike was fitted with. And then obviously, like I say, we did the airbox and carbies. Carbies are over there, all covered up, ready to go in. And we've got our final piece in here. We've got a new 530 chain that will go in the back here with the correct black metal chain guard. Tiny bit of wiring to get wrapped up there. We have what they refer to as the mission cover, which is this assembly right here. Had been chromed on the one we had. This was the only chrome bit on the engine and this bit. The rest of it is all of this cast metal. You can see there's a chrome cover on that side for the points, that sort of thing. But this mission cover was just standard metal, and in the very early K2s, they had no gear shift pattern stamped on the outside. So we have one of those covers. It's just at some point somebody's chromed it and that chrome is coming off. So we're going to get it sent out. Dougie at OCD Vapor Blasting going to have a crack at getting rid of the chrome because it's kind of scaling and falling off. Hopefully that all flakes off so it can just get polished and put back on there, just so it looks like this. When I say polished, that's how it was. It's untreated raw metal. We have all of our OE fasteners. So there's all the correct sizing. You remember the old rusty ones that were on there? They've all been replaced with the correct press-up screws. Even the correct Honda screw here, or Honda bolt there. So she's really coming together. Really happy with it. A little bit more work to go, and then that will be job done. I'll send her down the road, and the new owner can enjoy the memory of what was the iconic English bike killer. The universal Japanese machine, the Honda CB750, in this instance, a 72 K2. Cheers everyone, catch you in the next video where we'll have more updates on this beautiful bike.